Now you don't.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
No, okay, so I'm agnostic, so
Well, agnostic.
not really
but
sure. So
you were
I don't
religious, now you're
hold on to the
agnostic.
belief as
How does that make you feel?
How does it make me feel?
How does it make you see the world differently, if anything?
Okay.
And how did you get to that point of first believing in something so deeply and then starting to question it?
Okay, so to answer that question, so how do I believe something so strongly and then start to question it? I guess it's just so from childhood, just going to church, reading the Bible, I took all these facts in like axiomatically, like by assumption, right? Never really questioned if they could be derived from some more believable assumptions or something. And I guess just the act of going to school and taking science classes and all that just made me question these assumptions that we made more. And so that facilitated the transition a bit. Another thing that facilitated the transition to agnostic was just in the Bible it says, that Christians are supposedly supposed to feel this peace and knowing that they're with God, and this sort of Christianity seemed to have a lot more of this emotional component that I really felt like I did not have. Like I did not feel like there was someone trying to guide me and help me. I did not feel like I was surrendered to some being. I didn't feel like any of this peace, and I was upset. And I think that frustration and anger facilitate that transition a bit. So, yeah. I guess also just being around other people that don't really believe, that obviously has an effect. Okay, so to answer your question, which was how does it make me feel like once I've made this transition, right? Is that what it was?
That's
okay.
right,
Yeah.
I felt like as a Christian, I was constantly trying to live up to these certain impossible standards, live up to try to become, to act like Jesus, to surrender your life in a similar fashion, put away a lot of these desires and pleasures of the world and put God first. And it was kind of stressful to always try to live up to that. And so in a way, it's a relief. I guess maybe if I had focused on Christianity, like focused on the... So another big idea in the Bible is although we are, so far separated from God and we can never really meet his standards, right? Like God's grace allows us to still, be in his presence and be his children. And I guess I never really focused much on what that grace was and how it felt. And so maybe that had a impact on the way I always felt so stressed out about following these standards. Well,
that's an interesting point. So are you familiar with like mimetic theory by any chance?
No.
Well, it doesn't matter. But basically...
is this the imitation?
Yeah.
A
So,
little
like,
bit.
yeah,
That's
so
some of the stuff you said.
he became deeply Christian, and a lot of his models, to put it that way, is that he believed that humans are deeply mimetic, and that we need these forces to live our lives, and that no matter whether you believe in God or not, like you're always worshiping something. To quote David Foster Wallace, but like you're always worshiping something, whether your work, your life, God, money, whatever. So René Girard, which is the guy of the mimetic theory thing, he basically said that like you should mimic that which doesn't mimic others, which in a way it's Christ in a sense, and that's why he became deeply Christian. because he believes that, like, of course you're never gonna get there because you're not supposed to get there. That's just like the limit. Like that's what you should strive for. But you're never gonna get there because you can't. It's infinity, in a way.
Mm.
But it's a model which you can aspire to. So it's almost, like we're deeply mimetic and we do things because of other people. Like we learn that way. We're deeply imitate, like we imitate others for many things. And he said, mimic that. Mimic like the person or the thing that doesn't mimic other people, which is, according to what he believed was Christ. Doesn't imitate anyone.
How did he come to that conclusion that we should imitate that which doesn't imitate or cannot be imitated?
I haven't studied super deeply to answer that question as like, okay, like he did this X, Y, and Z, so I couldn't be able to tell you. But just something that he realized by reading a lot of. It's kind of funny how I realized he read a lot of like fiction stories from like. It's not technically I forgot the name, but like literature pretty much, and that's how he realized it. These patterns across like different histories and everything else. But anyway, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, you're never going to be able to. But like one interesting aspect to look at it is that like, do you wish you never questioned, or like, do you wish you still believed?
I don't wish I still believe. If I feel like I'm justified and I've done the research and I can come to the conclusion based on my research that God is real and these things in the Bible are true, then I think I should believe. It's for your question of whether or not. So I'm glad that I'm questioning these things. I think it's important. And that comes to another idea that I've thought about. So have you heard of Pascal's wager?